But what I'm trying to do is put everything up on YouTube, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, so we could rewatch every single replay ever. Wouldn't that be fun?
We would love it.
So, okay, first, obviously I'm Maria and I'm the admin of the group, but I am so excited to be here with Morgan today because David actually, Valenzuela, the CEO of Wish, sent me what you had said, and it just felt so powerful and it resonated. And, you know, to be really transparent, I'm kind of ignorant in what you were talking about because but when you said it and the way you said it made so much sense.
Oh,
So I was like, and I'm always really open-minded to seeing other point of views, whether I agree with it or not, but like educate me, because you're like planting a seed, right? So it's like once I get the education and I start doing my own research, or like little puzzle pieces start coming together, I'm like, oh, she totally makes sense. Does that make sense? So
yeah, that makes sense.
why I was so excited about this live is I hope you can give some light and education to everything that you're saying, because it makes so much sense, everything you were talking about.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm Morgan, for those who don't know. I'm super happy to be here. I am a licensed esthetician. I own Luminous Skin Atlanta in Atlanta, Georgia, and I specialize in skincare, corrective skincare, acne, and hyperpigmentation. I'm also a boutique med spa, so I do have medical oversight for my business, specifically so that I can do things like laser and all that stuff. But this is where we come into the issue, okay, that we are having, and that's part of the aesthetics revolution, is that I, as well as many others, should not have to pay a medical director to have products in our business that are not prescription strength. It is really unethical, it's elitist, and it's not helpful to our community. It really undermines us. And that is the core of our revolution. We are tired of it. We have a license, we are licensed professionals, we go to school, we have to take exams, we get continued education, in many states, continued education is required. And the thoughts or requirement of having a medical director have oversight of us to just retail products that can be purchased on Amazon, it really makes zero sense. And that is the problem that we're having. That's just one of the problems. I would say that's like the biggest of the list, but there's about 6 points that, you know, I would love to get to during this time.
So for those, because a lot of my estheticians are either in school or out of school. So I guess before we get to those 6 points, why would someone need a medical director? So like, I guess kind of bring a little bit of education. So it's like, okay, well, what is a medical director? What do you need them for? And how does it even work? And
Absolutely.
then we'll get to the 6 points. Yeah.
Okay, so it depends on the business structure, right? So you have, sorry, just pulling this up, want to make sure, okay. Yes, it depends on the business structure. So for example, here in Georgia, licensed estheticians are able to do things like laser, microneedling, RF microneedling, those type of services, as long as you have a medical director. And so I do those type of services. So I do have a medical director, and she's actually a client of mine, a good friend of mine. Like, we have a good working relationship. So for those type of services, it makes sense, right? Because they can go horrifically wrong, you know, and you want to be able to have access to a doctor to help you with those, you know, issues. But what our problem comes, the problem that comes into play is that when we need a medical director to retail products that are within our scope of practice. When we are within our scope of practice and we have to pay someone to co-sign us, who doesn't actually help with the business in any way, shape, or form, who has zero clue what the products are. Like, my medical director, I love her, like, she's amazing. She does not have a clue about any of the products that I retail. She cares about, you know, am I just not lasering someone's face off, you know, or that I'm using my RF microneedling correctly. That's what she cares about. She does not care which vitamin C I retail. She doesn't even know, you know, so the fact that I have to pay her hundreds of dollars a month, right, to be able to have her medical oversight is unethical, you know, and the requirement from these pro lines to require having an MD, that's the issue. So depending on your state, it will depend on, what an MD does, specifically for you. But you have major lines who are telling estheticians, hey, we want you to sell our product. But by the way, have a medical director. Even though our products aren't prescription strength, and we're going to go ahead and sell it online, but still, I need you to pay someone. It's crazy.
That's what got me, because you're like, they can get it on Amazon. I'm like, wait, what?
Yes, there's certain brands where they require us as estheticians, as licensed professionals, to have a medical director to retail their products. And then they sell it on Amazon, right? But at the same time. So anyone can just go and purchase them on Amazon, but then we are required as licensed professionals to have a medical director. It makes no sense.
So, Ashley mentioned, medical oversight is also very expensive, something that can be $5,000 to $10,000 per month, which is very expensive.
Very expensive.
Where does it leave the margins for the business owner to grow?
So it depends on the size of your business, but this is why it's a problem, right? Because you have smaller businesses, people that are solo entrepreneurs. For example, myself, I am a solo, well, I have one employee, but we've been together for so long. Anyway, I'm pretty much a solo, right? So anyway, I have a solo business, and most estheticians that do skincare are solo practitioners. And so it leaves very little room for profit margin. When we're already buying our products at 50%, right? Like no other industry is really doing that. We are already at a 50% profit margin. And then you have to pay your, obviously we're paying shipping, we're paying taxes. And now you also have to pay your medical director. So you may be making, depending on your retail sales and, it depends on your business, but you may be making 15%. That is not okay when you are the ones that's doing the work. The client is calling you, when they have a question about this skincare. If anything goes wrong or they don't like it or whatever, they're calling you. They're not calling your medical director. They don't even have a clue who they are. So, it just makes no sense.
Okay. If you want to go into the 5 points, what I was really excited about is 1, education, 2, the 5 points. Like, what do you hope for all of us to come together, maybe as a whole? Like, obviously we all know that, like, and I'm not saying like strikes, but like certain things, when everybody comes together as a whole and collectively decides, we really do have more power than we think we do as a whole. So what would you hope for all of us to get involved? And then how do we support you and your movement?
Yes. So 1, we have a petition going. So if you all can sign that would be really, really helpful. We are already at 1,500 signatures. We're trying to get to 2,500 signatures. So that would just be really helpful, because really what we're trying to do is make noise. We want to force brands in the most kind and ethical way, but we want to force brands to realize, hey, we're messing up. We're not respecting our partners. These are people who make us money. Like we make them money, lots of money, but we don't have the respect that comes along with a medical facility, even though we're the ones who are standing behind the products. And it's why medical facilities usually want to carry the line or clients want to purchase. So anyway, as far as what we can do, I would really like us to be very mindful of who we choose to partner with. When we realize that a brand is no longer, actually Ashley said this, when we realize that a brand is no longer loyal to us, we can then change our loyalty as well. You are not married to these brands, okay? They don't own your business. They don't own a percentage of your business. You can choose who you want to partner with. And if they do not ethically align with your business structure or how you feel as a professional, you can move along. And that is what I'm choosing to do. I know that's what Ashley and some of our other friends are choosing to do. We are making a conscious, on purpose effort to change who we are working with. So I decided to get rid of brands that require an MD for products that are not prescription strength. So certain chemical pills, for me specifically, certain chemical pills are, I do have to have medical oversight to do. So I have a medical director to do that, and I will continue to do that. But for products that are not prescription strength, then it's time to move away from those lines that are asking us to have a medical director. It just doesn't make any sense. So I would really love to see more of us decide, you know what, we're not working with those brands that do not respect us. Why work with the brands that do not respect you? You know, that's
Right.
what we're aiming to do.
I find it interesting why a brand would choose for something that they're selling on Amazon or online anyways. Why would they choose for us to have a medical director? I don't know why. Obviously, I'm not educated in this subject. So I plan to do more research on it. So do
It's
you know
marketing.
why? Marketing?
Yes.
Interesting. You're like,
Yes,
that's it.
it's marketing. So it's a timeline that usually goes, you know, that it usually follows. The brand comes to market, they see they market towards estheticians. Estheticians talk about it on social media. We really get it popular and the brand blows up. And then they decide, you know what, we want to make even more money. So now I'm going to sell direct to consumer, or we're going to require a medical director to give us like that exclusivity, you know, type of look in a feel to our brand. And that's what keeps happening over and over. We've seen it literally with multiple professional lines. And so that's the issue.
Would you like to touch on the 6 points?
Sure, we can touch on 6 points. I don't know them by heart, but they're right here. Okay, so our 6 points are: we want transparent communication. Like when an esthetician signs up to work with a brand, tell us everything up front. Do not hold out, you know, minimum order requirements, or the fact that direct to consumer, that they are planning to do direct to consumer marketing, or that they plan to email our clients. Like, be very transparent. We also want exclusive wholesale partnerships. So that means that, you know, if you're working with licensed estheticians, work with a licensed esthetician. Do not then go sell on Walmart or Amazon, or, you know, these third-party retailers. It dilutes our market and our professionalism. Also, empowering education. Education is huge. There's some lines to do some great education. So that's not really a huge problem. And I'm sorry, I just have a hair in my eye. It just fell. Also, inclusivity. We would really like brands that prioritize people of color, the LGBT community, persons with disabilities. Like, make it a priority to show a multitude of estheticians, because our industry is super diverse, and that is important to see. It's even important to see for our clients, and they need to see that. Ethical and fair access, which comes back down to the medical director situation. It is unethical to require us to need one for non-medical strength products. And then joint marketing initiatives. Those are our biggest concerns right now for the overall mission, to help all estheticians be able to have access to great product, to be able to be profitable in their business, and to be able to sell ethically to their clients and work within this industry.
I love that. If anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to come in. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, one, I just want to say thank you, you know, so much for allowing us to have this conversation, and with your platform. Like, it's amazing. You are doing such a fantastic job. So I just want to say thank you for that. And really just be mindful. I would really like us all as estheticians, we are professionals, and we have to stick together. When we stick together, when there is unity, when we can move as a group in a way that helps us all, we can make a change. It's already happening. Look at Osmosis, and, well, I'm not gonna name names, but there's multiple brands that are already making changes because of this effort. So yeah, we just gotta stick together.
If you want to send me the petition,
Yes.
I'll send it out for sure via newsletter, and I feel like we should be posting it weekly in the group, because it does take a minute for people to see everything. Yes. I'm going to pin it to the top, and I would love to continue the discussion at least once a month, because I do think it's time to like educate people. That's important. And then two, also people who are like, no, I don't agree with that. It's okay to have an open discussion and educate each other, and you make a informed decision. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Because we're not monolith. Like, we're not all going to agree, and that's perfectly fine. I just want everyone to be, we just really want everyone to be educated on what's happening and their rights, as well as the options of other brands that are out here that they can work with. So
I would love, I was like, I know we had spoke about it to make a list of people who do not take medical directors.
Yes.
And that would be kind of cool. We'll probably do like a little post is like, okay, who doesn't take a medical director after this? And then maybe also put the petition link at the bottom of it so people can, like, there's a lot of really beautiful lines that don't take a medical director.
Absolutely. There are some great lines, and we're actually putting together a resource guide. So it's going to there's lots of lines out there. And I think just because they're not quote unquote popular, that people think, oh, they must not be good. And that's not the case. That's not the case at all. It comes down to formulation.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody want to ask questions?
Hello.
There are a couple more people watching in the group, so I'm watching the Facebook group.
Okay.
Oops, hold on. Yes, this is definitely not enough margins in retail. That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not paying, somebody said, I'm not paying anybody $5K a month. Somebody said, yes, I will sign. This is why we need to come out of our own skincare lines. How much paying for an MD? People are watching with you. That's because I'm looking at the Instagram. But I'm for sure going to put the petition. I feel like if we all come together and just kind of agree, because those are pretty big margins. And at the end of the day, that's like money you're working for. Really, really hard, actually. It's hard out here.
It's hard out here, and especially when you're paying someone who has no clue what the product is. Like that doesn't make any sense, So and I don't want that for us. A lot of us are solo businesses. We have families, we have kids, that's crazy. So, I don't want that for us, like I said, especially for products that are not prescription strength that anyone can purchase at any time. Those products specifically, that it just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? I really appreciate you taking the time and educating us on us. I love the movement that you're doing. I would love, maybe we can do it again next year, like kind of at the beginning of every month, so people can kind of learn to like research and then come with questions. Maybe we can start a thread on it so where people can be educated on it. Like there's so many things we can do. And I'm really like, this is one of the reasons why I started the group, was for us to come together collectively. And if we can make a change, even like $5,000 a month is a really big difference. A lot.
Absolutely. Yes.
I would love this. And then also just bringing education.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am down. So whatever you need from me, I'm very happy to be here. I want to help.
I think it's the other way. Whatever you need from me.
Well, definitely I will provide a list. Like I'll work with Ashley and Josh and all my friends, and we will provide a list of like just different ways that, this can be helpful to everyone and beneficial. Because like I said, this isn't just a for me or for us type of thing. This is for everyone. It benefits everyone. And then this is a different conversation, but it is leading to this when it comes to scope of practice in different states. We're trying to lay the groundwork so that when it's time to move into that conversation of having a national scope instead of a by state scope, that we can have an equal level playing field so that all estheticians have the opportunity to make the finances that they need to make. So that's a whole nother conversation, but we are working towards that.
That would be a very interesting conversation.
Yes, it requires a lobbyist, and we have some. Like we're working on that. So like it's baby steps, but it's coming.
But for now, if you can send the link, we will post the petition. I'm gonna hopefully send this out via newsletter. I'm kind of slow, so maybe not till Sunday. It's just me.
Okay, no problem.
But yes, and you guys, please reach out to her. I'm gonna tag her in the group. I'm gonna start a thread, and hopefully we could just bring a lot of education to this.
Absolutely. I'm stoked. I can't.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And it's already pinned to the top of the group.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.